broadcast.
The finish line. Check the radio. Pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing.
Exiting dead
Crank it
space.
up. Oh, it's racing.
Countdown meter 2
Crank it
minutes.
up. Oh, it's racing. Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up.
Exiting dead space. 3, 2, 1. Exiting dead space. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here live on Pizza Race TV. We are live here for the late Friday night edition of the money race for the FEG CustomPC.com showcase, presented in part by our friends over at Ford Entertainment Group PC Custom.com. Be sure to visit them up at www.fegcustompc.com to be sure to get all your latest info and teleworking as well as your latest PCs for your iRacing needs. It is the best way to go with iRacing. Be sure to get it going at www.fegcustompc.com. But right now, currently, the field drivers getting settled in for their qualifying laps here. We are currently only about 2 minutes away from the beginning of our showcase here. So far on top is Sean Hill and the number 77 with a 47.99 over the 47 so far. Jeff D. Merck hoping to try to outladder him with a little bit of a chance here. Positioning to be very high for these drivers in this one. Especially when you consider just how far now between these drivers will be putting themselves to their limits and putting themselves to the ultimate test of extrusion and prosperity. That is what it's all about here today, and that is what's going to be all about here on the track. Only a minute and 20 seconds left here on the time clock here. Field drivers definitely getting ready for it. Again, this is a pack qualifying, so this means that they can kind of run in their packs and get it calling up to the field. Let's see who gets the best time. And that's the 42nd seconds lapse late on the track, but it's still Sean Hill hanging down. Jason D. Maines, though, throws him name in there. Garrett Maines, Jeff D. Merck, as well as Nas Brambilla, also throwing themselves into the limelight. Some love down there on the comment section as well. There, our friends at Ford Entertainment Group are asking where's everyone watching from. They're saying New York. We got the pilots from Newfoundland. We got driver from Iowa. Hey, wait a minute, that's me. What am I doing? Yeah, I'm from Iowa, but I had to come down to Daytona Beach, Florida, so I got some friends watching in Iowa, so there you go. Now, this race also has a little bit of a special twist and a little flavor to it here today, folks. So we get ready to reel him down off the track, get him squared up onto the position here, double checking over our mics, making sure everything sounds good as well. My voice might sound a little bit coarse as well, for the record, folks. I just had gotten over a little bit of a cold here, so I do apologize in advance. But it seems like we're okay on our end today. As I was about to mention, though, that we have a few Coke Series drivers tonight. And Garrett Maines, Donovan Strain, and Malik Ray. Donovan Straub, by the way, not Strain, excuse me. So it's good to have them on board here today and see what they got to the table. Although I think it's actually Donovan Strauss there. I think that is actually his name there. But we do know we have Garrett Maines here on the circuit, on the track here as well. And of course Malik Ray. Going to definitely be another guy to really watch out for today here on the track. Everyone looking to bring it to the house and bring it to the wire. These are your pro level licensed drivers. This should be very interesting to see when and where and how they fight it out on the track. See if we got the mic situation figured out right now. Currently, I'm doing my best, guys, to get this figured out before we get into the broadcast. Everything seems like it's fine on my end here. I think there might have been a second mic working on our end there. I think that might have been the problem. I didn't hear it on my end, honestly. I thought everything was working fine, so, but it looks like we finally got it fixed. All right, well, hopefully we got it fixed. Let's get down the order. Let's get down to the drive today, ladies and gentlemen. On the pole to start this one off, it will be Sean Hill in the 77, the outside, and the 17 is Jason D. Maines. Row number 2 is the 31 of Garrett Maines, and the 31 on the outside, and the number 60, Jeff D. Merck. Row number 3 will be the 19 of Nash Brambilla, the outside, and the number 25, it's going to be Cody Reed. In row number 4, it will be John Hagan, the 81 on the outside, and the 12, it is Malik Ray. Row 5 on the inside, it is the 94 of Christopher McCula, and then the outside in the number 06, it will be David Sheets. Row number 6 is the 44 Donovan Strauss, the outside, and that 38 is Chad Ross. Row number 7 in the number 10, it will be Troy Baker, the outside. In the 56, that is going to be Josh Bonwell. And then row number 8, then we'll pilot the 45 of Eddie Hawks, the outside. In the 5, it is Matthew Baker. Row number 9 is the 80 of Larry McDonald, the outside. That 90, it is going to be Daniel Eberhardt III. Row number 10 is the 4 of Dylan C. Jones, the outside. And the 04 is Ambrose Knebel. Row number 11 is going to be Chris Vanderplatz, and the 18 outside, and the 03 is Kenneth McCullough Jr. And finally in row 12, shotgun the field, the 13 is Brian Terry. Your field of drivers is now set for action and set for the pace. They are ready to rip it down. Getting word in the chat that the mic sounds better now. I think that was just because we had another mic laying around somewhere here, and the producers forgot to turn it off, so our apologies in advance. Fun times at JC comes on board, says Big Kind, Key, Florida, pulling for Ross and Bonwell. Great to have you guys on board today. John Mulholland says picking Bonwell to sweep it tonight. Well, the sweep is in order and the fight is underway. Let's send him down. Three world-class licensed drivers. Some heavy-duty driving maniacs and some absolutely crazy madness about to be stuck in here at Daytona Beach, Florida. There is some true underdog stories to be had, and there are some true absolute veterans coming here to put on the fight and put on the show. A lot of folks out there looking for Bonwell to pull off the sweep. A lot of them looking at possibly seeing Maines throw a few of them out there. Malik Ray also, got to keep your eye on Donovan Strauss. We mentioned him earlier. This will be an interesting dilemma of speed and power versus consistency and control. And that control all hinders on one thing: who leads and who pushes from behind. That is the plate track way here on the Daytona Beach circuit. 60 laps to the distance here, race fans. We'll bring him off right down through turn number 3 into turn number 4, and it's time to settle the score and settle them on down. John Mullen, don't worry about that. I know we're having some technical difficulties on that. I apologize in advance. Should clear up here in a minute here. I do apologize about that, though. Coming right around off of turn number 4 to that front straightaway, the elusive restart zone, and on the way they go. Green flag is out here at Daytona Beach. Well, talk about wasting little time to this one. They just hammer the throttle down. Mains and Jason D. Mains, Garrett as well, getting a good draft off. That's what it's all about, trying to line them down through the corners and onto the sets here. John Mullen says, let's go. Come on, Baker from a Baker's mom. Baker's mom's in the house, folks. A lot of love down there to our fans and our friends and family for tuning on into these calls as well. We always appreciate seeing you guys kicking around and having a good time out here, even if our streaming end doesn't quite want to do the same. Speaking of Baker there, Troy Baker in the number 10, driving the Budweiser Silverado today. He's going to already go 3 spots up, looking for the front, looking to pack them off. The Mains boys, though, they are your race leaders. Sean Hill, who started in the lead, backed off into a corner early, but he's got the number... I believe that's the number 19 or 17 behind, right beside him, behind him. It's actually the 19 of Nash Brambilla, and then Malik Ray actually driving. Supposed to be the number 12, but from my eyes, that looks like the number 17 down there. Has the frame rate got any better on your guys' end, or is it still kind of off on your end? 'Cause it looks all right on my end right now, anyway, compared to what it was. Back stacked, racked and up to the field. Look at this. Drivers going the outside and some going over the outside into a 3-wide tandem. We've got our runners and we've got the stunners. The jumpers that move their way up to the front, and Malik Ray leads them in. A battle of the 17s. Jason D. Mains and the one on the inside. The one on the outside is Malik Ray. As they are still drafting the pack 3 wide in deep. They're pushing to non-existence. That is some huge pushing and shoving up in between and up into the gravel pits. You just can't let off that kind of area and think that it would go away too quickly. Look at this 3-wide pack again. They are still just lined up perfectly in order and equally from one another. No driver getting a fair inch or a big inch off the other. Looks like a little driver going to back off down there. Looks like that's Jeff D. Merck in the 60. Yes, it is. Jeff going to stay away from the Mattis. He says, I don't need nothing to do with these guys. These guys can go out and go crazy all they want. I'll just stay low here and try to win this race with them wrecking each other out. There's only one problem with that, though, my friend, is that you got a couple of world championship drivers up there, world-class licensed drivers, trying to be making a big name, and not only that, they're also really pushing themselves to their absolute limits. Four laps down, still about 56, still about 56 laps to go. Chad Ross in the number 38 right now, currently putting the dirty Mobita into good use while he deals with the pressure from up ahead. John Hagan, the 81, right in front of him here, and he's trying to line up with the corners and with the gaps. Up for a bit of a help here, trying to go for a bit of a break. I'm kind of surprised how quick some of these drivers went up to the front. They're trying to make it into that pack as quickly as they did. I think some of them probably were looking to intertwine and intervine through the distance. A lot of money on the line as well today here. That's something that these Coca-Cola drivers have Coke Pro drivers have also brought to the tables. We've seen plenty of them come through our broadcast before, and likes of Alex Bergeron. We've even had our old friend Nick come on board here and actually make a call with us. Never got to see him race, but we certainly always rooted him on when he got out of that track. Now to see even more drivers like Donovan Strauss, Malik Ray. We're just adding on to the lineup. Even Garrett Maines, who's your race leader right now, currently staying ahead of Jason D. Maines as both guys work in tandem, work in packs to try to stack this track up. Our boys over at FEG says Ross and Bondwell are definitely contenders. Ross in the top 8 now, and money winnings and FEG money list. You know you're doing something good when you're able to take down some of the toughest and the craziest drivers in all of this kind of racing pack and situation. And to win that kind of amount of money and that kind of stuff, hell, I mean, what else kind of excuse you guys got? Get ahead and join these drivers and have a little fun. That's what it's all about, and they know it too. And right now they are looking to try to not only get a little bit of that money, but they think they're having a little bit of fun just figuring out how to outrun the other. The thing with these plate track races, we always talk about, this is like a chess game. You literally are the person that sets the tone and sets the bar, and then you're having a time limit between each move and each shot. Now put that into perspective for a second, and then all of a sudden realize that there is no time limit, there is no time of frame. It's all just chess pieces and chess moves, each and every single straight, each and every single corner and turn, until you have to get to pit road, and then that's when you really need to plan out that perfect time to either use your pawn or to move the queen into action. Don Mullen says, I'm going to get one with my income tax. Don, we certainly hope you will. Baker also starting to add up his money list as well. FEG expects to see him up front shortly. Certainly will indeed. OSR Network, thanks for tuning on in here as well to the broadcast. Good to see some fellow callers and commentators coming on to see the service, see the racing we got going on between these heavy hitters. Just for perspective as well, guys, right now I just got word as well, like how much these drivers are making. Some of them got $1,734.50 with Kenneth McCullough, $1,470 with John Mulholland, $1,443 with Dylan C. Jones, $1,242 with Daniel Eberhardt, $1,155 with Jason Maines, $1,137 with Alex Hill, $986 with David Sheets, and so on and so forth. Like, you think about that for 1 second. That is a lot. I mean, a lot to believe and to even see. But again, that's just the luck. That's just the way it is. Then you go and put yourself out here and try to put yourself on the track to race it out. And it sure is quite a fight out from every which way to Sunday. John Mullen knows what he's seeing. He says there's the money. That's right. This is a late Friday night money race edition here for the FEG CustomPC.com show. Again, be sure to visit up www.fegcustompc.com so you can get yourself the ultimate PC to set yourself into these races and set yourself out on the track. You will not be disappointed here. We've worked with them time and time again. We can tell you they are definitely worth your time and worth your investment. And also, it's iRacing. I mean, come on. Why would you not want to come on out and figure out why the pros and even the real-life drivers use this as their sim to chase, their sim to race? Onboard camera here at Jeff D. Merck, right now number 60s. He currently lays a little bit from that stacked up back, but again, you got 3 of those World Class Championship drivers, World Championship implication drivers from the Pro Series, from the pros in general. Obviously, they're going to be a little bit more in between online to really where they want to play it out at, and they know a thing or two about how to handle these packs, how to handle these drafts, and how to keep a truck or car straight as can be. OSR Network, usually the guy that does the Friday nights edition. Well, OSR, I have seen some of your shows, man. You definitely put on a good little broadcast out there, so kudos to you and definitely everybody else that be able to tune in and watch these races as well. Right now, cut to the front. Saw a little bit of wobbling and mixing it up around there. Malik Ray, he was getting the old chrome dome, and that was given to him. Right now, it's going to be even more given to him because the field's going to stack up. Big Rick coming. There goes the number 77 of Sean Hill. And Sean Hill sentenced to the shed around the field, packed and stacked up in a massive collision course. Drivers remaining on the green and remaining on the playing. A lot of drivers, though, absolutely caught off guard from that one, and there was nothing they can do about it. We'll take a look at the Pizza Race TV Instant Replay as we go look back at that one. What a wild little situation just popping up right in front of our faces and all our eyes here. Take a close look at this. Came right down that front straightaway. They're stacked up. I saw there was a bit of wibbling there on the Malik. Looked like Sean Hill got clipped there from the 94. He drives it off and gets it away. Sean Hill, not so lucky. What we're looking at here from that camera there, Sean is definitely not a happy camper. I mean, I don't think I would be any more happy than he is for this happening to me. But just one good look, you can see how close it is. One wrong little slip, and this is what you get. Hold on, hold on. Trying to hang on. It can't save it this time, son. Oh, my goodness. What a nasty little collision. Well, those that were heading for pit road now are pretty much kind of hamstrung to go in. Those that really weren't planning on it, well, I'd probably say it's probably best to get in there now. Baker's mom down there saying patience, patience, and nice save. You got to have a lot of patience in this race, I'll tell you that now. There is a good sign to this, though, is that he's only about 4 seconds behind of Josh Bonwell. And he's got Matthew Baker. Well, Matthew. Wait a minute. There's two Bakers here. Wait a minute. I'm confused. Okay, there's Troy Baker. I'm pretty sure I'm talking about Matthew Baker as the one that's that's helping out Troy Baker. I think that's the one we're talking about, right? Baker's mom. You got me confused. I got two Bakers here. Which one baked up the awful turnover last week? I think it was Matthew, wasn't it? Oh, gotta help me out here. Well, we'll currently get back a word on that from the comments section here. Right, the field squared up, as you can see. Donovan Strauss, the number 51 here, one of the World Class Championship drivers in the Pro Series, has unfortunately fell victim to the lower half and thrown back into the pack. He's going to be a lap down, trying to hope for a little bit of a break here and get a little bit of a runoff. Okay, confirming it is Matthew here, guys. John Mullen says, my guy is still with the pack. Yes, they is. Muffin Man is done, they say. Uh-oh. That is never a good sign when the Muffin Man is done. So right now, the field probably a little bit more careful on when and where they make their moves and who they decide to go for a run at here. I don't think they want to go too crazy here. Cody Neagle says, let's go Dale Cub. Cody, thanks for tuning on board here, folks. Also, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe here on Pizza Racing TV. Also, like and follow us up on our Facebook end. We really do appreciate it and appreciate the support you guys bring to the table here. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to figure out how to get better, and we wouldn't be able to figure out what you like and what you want to see more of. So for that, we thank you. JC, fun times. JC says that six-pack needs to work together. I'm pretty sure he's talking about this field of drivers versus this field back in the back here as well. I think at this point everybody needs to work together and try to create the tandem draft and pull the speed up. There you see the number 04 going up on the outside. Trying to get a number on that one. I think that might be Ambrose Knebel. Yeah, that's Knebel there. Julie Paul says, good evening all, go Nash. Julie, thanks for much tuning on in here today. A lot of new faces in the house. I'm loving this. I'd love to see some new faces and comments coming down below. You guys know it's fun to talk. I'll call the action when it's high, when it's good, but I don't mind one bit calling it with you guys as well in that comment section. That's what it's all about here. And by the way, she was talking about Nash Brambilla there, and that number 19 here, currently bringing out the Vikings number 19 machine, the Minnesota Vikings style up. So if I had to guess, probably trying to bring some skull to the lineup and to the lead today. That's a Green Bay Packers fan. I can't believe I just said that. I'll probably get a lot of hate in the comments section for that as well too, for mentioning that little comment. So I have no qualms or apologies, and I do not mind, but I will not hate on the 19. Brambilla right now doing a good job, so I cannot be biased at that. John Bullet says there's Kegels there. Yep. They're all in there, and they're all where they need to be. That's exactly what they're trying to work with right now, especially considering the dire circumstances and troublesome little spot they all threw themselves into or got put into there just a second ago. It's hard as a driver, though, because, again, you don't want to worry about how to be put in that situation or how to really work around that, but at the same time, you just know you got so much on the line, so many things going down your head. Your mind starts to wander a little bit, then you start to creep in a bit. And just think to yourself, like, what do I have to do? And what do I have to bring to the table? Well, Maines read the back of the 19 and it said kiss it. Well, he decided to kiss it. He gave it the old love tap there. Just a little French kiss, if you will. Nothing too rough, nothing too bad. He didn't get the teeth of that grill in there, so I mean that's a good thing. One-third of the way done so far with this race. Now on the outside, they'll go right on past. I believe that's Larry McDonald there. That is the McDonald number 80. Larry, unfortunately, having too many troubles here, and an engine in trouble with the truck as the field now heads for pit road. Field stacked up. Look for that pit entry. Easy in, easy, easy. Beautiful. What a pit stop by all involved there. Now to their pits. Josh's mom says hi everyone, and go Josh. Josh's mom, thanks for coming on board here today. A little problem there for Josh Hagan, though. John better be careful. He got a little bit too close to his end there. Couldn't quite get the truck out the way he wanted to. Coming down from pit roads here, and it looks like a jump start out there. Jason D. Maines, Garrett Maines will run their way in with Nash Brambilla and John Hagan all coming in from the pack. I believe that is also Malik Ray, though. That was a little slower out of pit road, and looks like he's trying to line it up with that field as the rest of your drivers currently get squared up and squared in. The rest of the field that came out of pit road, now they're on the charge trying to get out there. Very interesting little pinpoint here and a little position now for everyone to fight with. One-third of the way there. They'll have to do another pit stop, but about 20 more laps to go. And right now it is the Maines boys yet again at it. Here comes Malik Ray. He's not on the lead lap, but you know as well as anything, he'd love to get it back on that. And he's going to help out someone as well on lap down marker, Donovan Strauss. Strauss just a victim, unfortunately, of the situation between Sean Hill and the rest of the field. And honestly, when we watched that back, it looked like Sean Hill got a little bit of a love tap and kind of got loosened out, and then all of a sudden everything just kind of getting thrown for a wire. Hard to tell, though, who was the initial contact and who was the one that started it. The way things are these days, oh, hold on down there. You see a little bit of that rubbing and bumping up there. Malik got literally clipped up again. That was the second time we've seen his rear end just get completely pushed out. Looked like Strauss is not having it with anybody today, and he wants to hurry this thing up. He's got to be careful, though. That motor can only take so much. That tape and that dispenser on the truck will only give you so much longer. Well aware of that, but doesn't seem to mind it too badly either. Right now, the gap's separated out by a good margin of error, about 13 seconds for the other pack here. The other guys that are kind of laying low and trying to hang around with the likes of Matthew Baker and Brian Terry and Troy Baker. No relation, I believe, to the actual actor Troy Baker that played many famous video game characters, as well as has played some other roles in acting. You may also know one of them as well from The Last of Us and The Last of Us Part 2. I'm presuming, and I'm pretty sure that is not the same guy, so don't ask me in the comment section, guys. Well, a little bit of a clip up there. Looked like Troy decided to kind of make it a little bit more interesting here. Threw it right up into that pack and then kind of got squared up. Maybe just trying to keep the side draft all to himself while everyone else was trying to catch up with it. Take a look at our lap times here between these drivers and how far everyone is separated out. But you can see the gap is starting to clear out a little more. Everhart, who's right now trying to get to Hagan, which is about 11 seconds back. If he could get top down to about 5 seconds, I think he really has a chance here. But that's the difficult part of it, is getting it down to a mere 5 seconds. They're going to need some pit stops to work with each other. They're going to need to really put some pedal into that metal. We're nearing the halfway point here, and you can see just how much raw power and cutting is coming from these drivers. We're nearing the halfway. How's about we crank this up a little bit? Race fans, you know what time it is. You know what it's time to bring. Let's start this round and let's crank it up a notch. Well, we cranked it up. We put that pedal to the metal, and now we're lined up for our halfway point. Jason DeMaine still your race leader, despite what you may see on your screen. Malik Ray and Donovan Strauss are a lap down currently right now, probably just looking to try to stay one step ahead of everybody else. Not a bad plan if you think about it. There is still a chance that it can work. But in order to do so, you then have to literally maneuver and control the gap and the distance between one another. Coming right around off the corners into the distance here, and seems as though we are patrolling with about 10 more laps left. Or excuse me, about 12 or 13 more laps, not 10, before the next pit stops are going to be looked at here. Let's take a look at our pit strategy and our stink length here. All drivers up on that top 8. Well, to say the least, they had a pretty good idea what they wanted to do. They wanted to go in lap 21. Nobody going any further, no one going any shorter. But that leaves you some room and maybe a little bit of an opening. When and where do you decide to go in? Maybe you decide to go in a lap later. Would that make the difference? And speaking of making the difference, let's take a look at our difference maker here. John Hagan has really been given the guys behind him and Everhart in that entire pack a little bit of breathing room to catch up here, as they are about 10 seconds back now of the field. That is the pack that's trying to catch the leaders. They are desperate, they are hungry, and the one thing we always say is never make anyone desperate for anything, because they will find a way to try to come back at you and get that leader, get that one. I've been in their shoot before, I've been in the receiving end, and I've been on the fighting end of it. It is a feeling unlike any other. It just really takes you inside the depth of that helmet. It doesn't even let you think outside of the track for a minute. The only thing that goes through your head is what's focused on your eyes, and the feeling from the warmth of the wheel to the steel of the pedals. It's all in between. Gap starting to close between 10 seconds now. They can get it to 5 seconds. Like I said, I think we're going to see an extremely big push for that pack. And these guys have got to be sweating just a little bit, probably thinking over and over in the back of their heads, like, how much further, how much longer, and how much tougher will this become? Frankly, the ultimate question, in my opinion, is just when and where and how much more will it take? And can they hang on? The single file draft on the pack really starting to take its aim and take its shape here. I think a lot of that really is just kind of pinpoint on the fact that a lot of drivers do not want to make too much of a mistake like they did earlier when they got into that 3 wide salute, draft into the style and dipped into the mast, and all of a sudden everything went completely haywire. Anticipation still kicking their way in. Again, you got to be thinking off the top of your head, especially if a guy like number 90 here, Everhart, having to rely on the guys behind you to push and shove and push and shove, hoping that they don't blow their motor, hoping you don't end up getting too quick and you get loose. Because you can see that bumper right now, even when it gets tagged into the turn, it still gets slightly kind of wrinkled out a little bit, and then ends up finding themselves in a bit of a tough spot, a dilemma that you really don't want to find yourself in. That's what they've been facing this whole time. Oh, yeah, whoa, we got problems, there's a car pile up down there, what in the hay is going on down there? We got a major problem on our hands. Jason D. Maines, John Hagan, all left out on the track here. Literally was just going to get a quick drink, and next thing I know, I'm seeing a whole field of drivers out there with a problem. Producers, cut that one back. Let's go look at the replay. What on earth happened to the leaders up ahead? I'm not sure if we just had ourselves a big dilemma pop up or what went wrong. Let's take a look at the replay. Oh my, look at this. Look like they may have ran into lap traffic here. And this is not what they wanted to see. Major catastrophe for some and a major problem for others. Just an absolute scatter move there by everybody involved. Hagen got extremely lucky he didn't get tagged when he did there. I'm trying to see if we can get a good camera angle on what exactly started this mess. I think honestly it may be what we're going to find up right up here. It looks like we're taking a look at it from the replay here. Watch carefully at Malik and Strauss here. Looked like Donovan just kind of clipped him there. Got him loose. Strauss trying to go back up, and then there's a push. And this is where everything started. Yeah, it looked like Strauss just kind of came up there, unfortunately. It looked like the number 17 there. That was Jason D. Maines is what started the chain reaction, unfortunately. And what a tough break there for him. Here's his onboard camera here for just a quick second. That was a nasty little hit. This is the chain reaction event. You can see right up, push, shove, and push comes to shove. Well, let's just say you're about to get drove. He just sees a stockpile of drivers in between. Coming out of pit road right now, the drivers are already jumping out quick. Nash, Brambilla, and Kenneth McCullough Jr. are going to try to get the best of an advantage here. Those that stayed on out will have another opportunity, but my word, race fans, was that a nasty little situation, and only our first caution of the day. Josh's mom not too pleased about that, and Baker's mom asking, do you think went to a block? Do you think 7 went to block? Honestly, I mean, it's hard to really tell you on that one. From that point of view, it looked like really they were trying to make any kind of move that made sense and worked right. I mean, in racing like this, you really have to do what you have to do as a driver. There's some things I really don't agree with, honestly, but I mean, as a driver, I probably would have done the same thing if I had to. Yeah, I think, honestly, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of things on your plate, on your regards, and I think, as much as I do not care for some of the things Joey Logano does, I will agree with one statement he made, which is, I'm out there to win. And I'm out to the race. I'm out there to win. And that is the key mindset that any driver should have in any event or any squared circle. So, it's one thing to have a lot of fun, but again, you always have to have a little bit of that thought in your head to go out and win. But I will just say, as a cleaner driver, I don't know if I would have done that necessarily. So, take my words for what you will. The pace car has turned the lights off, so no matter what, we're going green next time on by. Baker's mom thinks maybe 17. I mean, for the way it looked, Malik honestly was in the right to do so. He got drove up the outside, and he had to do something about it. He was also trying to get on the lead lap, which is not a bad call there. If you get thrown back there and that situation happens, he gets caught up in the wreck and then he loses his lap anyway. So I'd say it's actually brilliant strategy there to actually jump ahead and actually block when he needed to. Unfortunately, Strauss wasn't so lucky. Ended up driving just a little too close and got clipped up there with Jason DeMaines. That is where that situation started. So I don't hate the block. I'm not a fan of blocking on these kind of racetracks, this kind of races, but sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do in this one. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys comment section down below what you think. Do you think I'm completely crazy, or do you kind of somewhat sympathize and agree with what I'm saying and maybe with the drivers there? Baker's mom says she agrees, and Josh's mom says, well, great, straight to last place. Josh's mom, don't worry. It'll be all okay. We'll make sure we get them on back next time around. We hope to see them back as well as a lot of you fans out here again on the show. Back under the green flag we go here. We're lined back up, and we're settling down on the track. Well, there's a few of them also wasting absolutely no time getting right into this. Looking like a bat out of hell. That's 17, Sean Hill. Or 77, Sean Hill, excuse me. He's looking to drive it up there with Jason DeMaines in front of him. Maine's probably looking for a little redemption. Chris Vanderplat's at number 45 right now, currently trying to stay out of trouble. Excuse me, the 21 of Vanderplat's. The 45 is being driven by Eddie Hawks. Some of these numbers are a little confusing because some of them actually have the custom number on there and then some of them don't. This is Eddie Hawks I was referring to there. And then the 21 was Vanderplat's. Josh Mom asking about why the lap drivers get to stay around, hang out in the front. Well, in a race situation, technically the unwritten driver's code, they always say if you're a lap traffic, you should get out of the way and let the leaders battle it out. But in layman's terms, if you're lap traffic and you're trying to get your lap back, you got to race for it, which means you got to push your way up to the front and then try to guard that spot so that way you don't get past in case the caution does fly out. So it's not fun, and believe me, it's a very hard little pill to swallow, but it is something that in the unwritten code a lot of drivers have a tendency to break. So that's honestly kind of the best way I can explain it. Otherwise, really, it's a code that I wish would be actually written into the rule book. So but then again, if we did that, then we'd have a lot of other troubles on our hands. So it's probably be better we didn't write it in there. 06 Cody Reed right now, your race leader. Nash Brambilla right now just laying low right behind the two drivers there. He's currently getting guarded up a little bit by, I believe, that being, if I get a number on that one, trying to get you guys a little bit of a number out there. That's a 25 here. I believe that might, yeah, looks like that was, can't quite get a number on them actually. There's the 45 for sure, is Eddie Hawks. Hold on, folks. Get this figured out one way or another. Oh, that's David Sheets. So David Sheets is in that 06 right now. Cody Reed is in the 25. Okay, now that makes sense. So Sheets actually was the one that was on lap traffic, and Cody was the one that was behind. I'm sorry again, guys. Our live timing's all over the place with these custom numbers. Baker's mom saying if they're good drivers, they can help each other. Yeah, that's absolutely a good point there. If they're good drivers, they will help each other. But at the same time, they will try to help themselves when they need to. That's kind of like the necessary evil you have when you run these kind of events. You kind of run that situation. There are no gimmies in racing, and you have to work for every single lap and every single corner. And although there is a little bit of luck that plays into the play tracks, I would say most of it still evolves around plenty of racing and scheming here. I will say as well in the comment section, guys, do try to keep it somewhat civil. I know it's a little bit of a frustration factor in there, but do try to somewhat keep it civil. I know it's hard to kind of get around and have to deal with, but do try to keep the comments a little bit civil down there, please. Lining up back around through turn number 3 into turn number 4 here. We got 17 about to turn into 16 laps remaining. E. Mays right now, your race leader. Eddie Hawks, lap traffic right now. And the 06, David Sheets, also lap traffic. He's probably trying to go the Malik Ray route, as well as the Donovan Strauss route as well, and just trying to hang in there. Field trying to hold up and trying to build up more speed here, but again, even if you're running well over speeds of 190 plus miles per hour, that still isn't quite enough for what you're working with and what you're seeing right now. Feel the power, and you can feel the momentum just continuously, innocuously building up, pressuring out. So much on the line here. Stacey Johnson says, go Brian Terry, number 13 fan. Stacey, thank you so much for tuning on in here today. Brian Terry right now, the DeWalt, number 13, he's been hanging around there for a little while here, and right now he is going to be right behind the We the People 03, Kenneth McCullough Jr. The officials paying close attention as well right now to everything going down, everything going on. They will be definitely handling stuff out there. That's why I mentioned that comment earlier about kind of watching it down there, guys. We do have folks watching over these drivers and making sure they keep them all online, so they'll let them race it out, but they will not tolerate any nonsense whatsoever, so do not fear there. Good group of guys right now. Just a little bit of money at the line with 13 laps left to go. You just know in the back of your head, in the back of your mind, there is going to be some fireworks after this one's over with. And I am talking, of course, about the finish where you see those fireworks pop on out here on the show. Coming back down through the corners here, and the gap is starting to change and starting to rip up. Josh's mom, thank you so much for tuning on in here today, though. We're sorry about Josh, unfortunately, getting wrecked out here. But we certainly hope he'll come back, as well as we see you back on the track as well here. We do appreciate everybody tuning in and coming on out as well. Stacey Johnson says, thanks for the look at the track and the dash cam. Oh, we had a little moment earlier where we had a little pedal to metal cam action going on, so not quite going to throw that back in here yet, but we got quite a few cameras we work around here on these trucks and on these vehicles, and we love throwing these things on these trucks and these vehicles to give you guys a little different perspective on how close and how tight some of these racing moments can be and just how crazy they get. Flying a back round, we're focusing on our final 11 laps this next time on by. A lot of pressure. Uh-oh, and there's going to be a lot more trouble ensuing here. Can they hang on? No, they can't. There's going to be problems. Off turn number 4. Trouble. And caution is out. Chad Ross, the 38, unfortunately going for a tail whip and a spin as the field gets collected in. Seems to be just Chad Ross, unfortunately, the one that got narrowed in and taken for a ride there. What an unfortunate little situation there for that number 38 team. Let's look at it again. 3 deep in. Look at this dude looking like a pinball out there. He got tilt-a-whirl, then he got tilted in, then he just got tilted. Got clipped up there. It looks like the 25 as well. I believe that was Cody Reed there. Yeah, that was Cody. And just unfortunately a very wild little spot here. That was a very nasty little hit. We'll take one more look at it here. Bing, bang, bam, boom. by. Now, there's good news. It looks like most drivers didn't really come out with too much damage, just a little bit. Force wear on the equipment. Thankfully, a 1-inch repair will help that out. But I think a lot of these drivers right now probably don't want to be worrying about that all too much. They're probably more or less focusing on just getting this race finished up with what they've got on the clock and not on the time here. Looks like Garrett Maines wanted to keep as close as he could with their Jason D. Maines. As the field heads to pit road, Daniel Eberhardt immediately trying to get ahead of the field and back into the gas pedal here. The 13 of Brian Terry is going to be your new leader. And Terry is playing a very critical line right now. He's currently been on lap 37, fuel and tires. I don't know how well or how good that will work out. And a big pit stop coming out of pit road. Jason D. Maines beats out Garrett and the rest of the field. Pressure is on and the feeling is starting to become very mutual for these drivers. They know how many laps are left on the clock. They know how many laps they have left to work with. It's not a whole lot, but it's enough to bring the pressure down. The field now, double it up, doubled in. 8 laps remain. Vicker's mom's just about to ask about the fuel there. Well, if they clutch the fuel in long enough, I think Terry might be okay. Again, with lap 37, you gotta remember, they got about 21 laps in on the fuel. So if you do the math, he'd only be roughly two laps short if it went that route. However, if he kept clutching the truck and kept clutching the fuel line in, if he falls back early, he may have a chance to still keep some of that truck and save the fuel up. I'm not totally sure. I think he's got a chance, but he's playing a very, very thin line here. But it's all up for grabs now. 8 laps remain here at Daytona for the late Friday night money race at Daytona Beach for Daytona Speedway. And some drivers immediately just getting wrapped up into that wall. Chad Ross immediately problems down there. Lining him up. There goes Malik Ray and Donovan Strauss, the World Championship Pro drivers from the Coke Series, moving the chains. That 13 laying low for a little bit, trying to stay out of the mess. Oh, he's in the trouble now. Terry has lost it on the back stretch. He's out. Unless the caution comes down now, he's done. His race is all but over with. He's going to need a help. He's going to need some hope. So much for that fuel-saving strategy. Unfortunately, what an absolutely heartbreaking position. Going up 3 wide. Look at Baker. Baker's mom loves what she sees, but she knows this is a bit of a risky move. We saw what happened last time. The field is doubled now, tripled in. Some stacked on the top, some stacked in the back. You gotta line them up, just back up a little bit, and then just go full send and give that thing a big old push and a big old love kiss. And hope for the best now. 6 laps remain. This time on around. Baker trying to get something going here. Matthew looking to make Baker's mom proud. He knows what's at stake. Love the 3 and clean. Stacey Johnson, unfortunately, not too thrilled there, but that's saying, oh, dang it. Yeah, it's a tough little deal with a tough little problematic position. Oh, hang on, Baker. Hang on, hang on, hang on. He's getting left shafted there by the 77 Sean Hill. These guys want position. They want to move up, but Baker not able to give it what they want. So now they're trying to almost force their way around him. Everyone on that top side backing down a little bit. Malik Ray has got the race lead. Side drafting is extremely close and extremely tough to master here. Opportunities are running out and are becoming more and more of a force of nature and more of a troublesome slave. There is nothing left they can lose and everything to gain at this point. Chad Ross, Brian Terry, Christopher McCullough, and Jason D. Maines right now the only ones not in this pack. Not anywhere close to the pack. Everybody else right now looking on, weighing their options out. Final 5 laps, top 5 on your screen. Time trying to run out here. They know they are getting too close to that depths, to the abyss. That level of excruciation and that level of pain is absolutely enduring to fight with and deal with. Another push, another bash. Baker, man, give him credit where credit's due. He's hanging on. He's just getting completely blasted by Sean Hill. And now they're going to get even more blasted back there. Big rock coming from turn 3. And Jeff D. Merck, and it looks like the number 11. I believe that was Dylan C. Jones. Yeah, that is him. He's the one that gets trapped up in that mess. Now a green-white checkered is in order. Take a look at that replay there. What a nasty, nasty little hit there, unfortunately. Just got clipped up and then smacked up. Brambilla got away with it. And Merck, not so much. And it sounds like Jones's motor might have taken a little bit of a turn for the worse. What a tough, tough break there for the field there. Unfortunately, we'll go on. You always just wonder in the back of your head, when is this going to just start turning in to another bumper car, turn into another pinball move? And Jeff G. Merck found that out the hard way, and the motor is fully gone. He could not get to pit road, so that means he's going to be in some serious, serious trouble. Matthew Baker going to stay out. And he went on lap 37 as well. He's going to play a very crucial game here of cat and mouse and chase for the top. Kenneth McCullough Jr. and Chris Vanderplatz right now going to pit road. Every driver for themselves here. Jason D. Maines and Kenneth McCullough Jr. also in there. Brian Terry Larry McDonald, Jeff G. Merck, Dylan C. Jones, all in pit road right now trying to weigh out the options, or they're trying to set the consistency and set the control. This field driver right now could not be any more perpetuated, as well as much as they are currently flabbergasted by what could come next. We're nearing the end. So here we go, race fans. Matthew decides to opt to the outside. Maybe looking at that run Garrett Maines and his crew looking to do. Ladies and gentlemen, top 5 on your screen. This is your final laps of the late Friday night money race. Here we go. The pressure is on. The gaps will close. And the try to survive will be higher than ever before. Into the distance, yellow is out, there's trouble, there is trouble. And we got a pile up down there in turn number 1. They get 10 green white checkers for their troubles, but this was definitely not the case for that they wanted to have here. Like the drivers just got kind of hung off the start there, and then they were trying to push their limits a little too much. Brian Terry wasting no time, and unfortunately, oh my gosh, getting sentenced to the shadow realm for his troubles. Just an absolute crazy lap there, and looks like from our point of view, really hinders on that move from the 38, Chad Ross. Jumping right in front of Dylan C. Jones. And then Merck, unfortunately, yet again, getting trapped in another wreck and another situation. 2 green white checkers will now be fully used. They have 10 in total to work with. Pit stops yet again going to be a factor. And Matthew Baker right now, again, just playing extremely dangerous game of cards here. Wants to play his card right, but at the same time, knows he can't go too far with it. And it looks like Baker finally admitting he's got to go to pit road. So now this field has completely been thrown on its head. So right now on the restart, Malik Ray, Garrett Maines, Donovan Strauss, Sean Hill, Daniel Eberhardt, Nash Rambilla, John Hagan, Matthew Baker, Cody Reed, and Jason DeMains, top 10. Their next opportunity awaits them here on this restart. But what will they do? Will they try to keep it green, or will they try to push the boundaries yet again? Laps to go this time on by. We want to give a big thank you again to FEG PC. Be sure to visit them up at www.fegcustompc.com to get your guys set for the next level of PC gaming and PC racing. We appreciate them for their support and allowing us to come on board today, and thank you all so much for tuning on in. If this is our final restart, then let's have at it. Here we go once more at Daytona. Malik Ray, Jarrett Maines, championship driver classes, and some bragging rights on the line. Field working their way around, though. Look on the outside. Look out. It's time for the Skull Nation to be rocking and rolling the boats ahead. The Vikings are invading, and the 19 of Brambilla is the one who leads the charge. Can he get him ahead with Baker pushing as best as he can? That fuel and that strategy that Baker had seemed to line up, but the strategy doesn't seem to cope well when you got four other drivers pushing their luck, pushing themselves around. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your white flag lap presented by FEGPC. Malik pushed around a little. So is Strauss. Main's in there as well. Anybody's race, anybody's game plan, it's all based in hindering around who can hang on, who will make the mistake, who gets the jump, and who pushes it forward. All trucks look good. Coming down to the wire. Trouble for the 51. The pile up ensues. There goes Baker in between. Mays, Eberhardt, and Malik Ray, and Mays going to lead him down. Ray left all alone. It's going to be a drag race to the finish line, but it's going to be Garrett Mays wheeling it to the victory lane. Well, how about that? Garrett Mays is going to be the late Friday night race winner here on the show, and what a race and what a drive to survive here for him and his team. Mays had to push and shove and scratch and claw, and this ChevyLiners.com 31 gets her done. What a race and what a battle. There's no gimmies around these parts of town. There's no gimmies anywhere you go. Maine's well aware of that and brings it home. And just an absolutely crazy, massive collision course for some of these drivers. No matter what you put in, no matter what you say it at, though, they did not give up. And it looks like Maine's going to definitely give a little celebration to the crowd on one side and looking to give it on the other. Looks like he's going to be right in the middle there with an old friend. Well, love for the Mains, boys. Here's your final results here, presented in part by FEG PC. This was a wild one from point A to point B. No one could have predicted where it could go and where it would lay and land on, but Garrett Mains managing to hold it out. Daniel Eberhardt brings it home for a second place finish. Jason DeMains going third. Malik Ray, top 5 for him. Cody Reed going in 5th. 6th to Matthew Baker. 7th to Nash Brambilla. 8th to John Hagan. 9th to Eddie Hawks. And 10th to Chad Ross. That will round out the top 10 in this one. The rest of your finishers on your screen. Alright, race fans, time to get this show wrapped up and cleaned up to finish out the night. As we await the arrival of our finishers today. A big congratulations to Jason D. Mains getting 3rd today. A big congratulations to Daniel Eberhardt on his 2nd place finish for a runner-up. And then, of course, the man that we're about to talk to here in just a brief second. He pilots the big number 31 today. Although he says may need to take a few seconds here for him here, it sounds like. Ladies and gentlemen, Garrett Mains about to join us here on the call and on the list here. We're just giving him a few seconds here, as I believe is what he's asking for right now. He just ain't give me 90 seconds, at least that's what I'm seeing on my end anyway. I don't know, producers, what you're seeing, but that's what I'm seeing anyway. If you fans want to go ahead and tune on out, we do not mind, we do not hate. But we will have a few interviews now done here, as we are finally joined here by our 3rd place finisher here in Jason D. Mains. And Jason, congratulations bringing this one on home for 3rd here, sir, in a long road to this position, a long road to drive out here. I mean, how difficult was it just to even hang on for this kind of position today?
A little frustrating, to be honest with you. You know, we shouldn't have been in that position. Not going to go into it a lot, but very frustrating because I know the situation that was at hand and how it went down was ridiculous. And like I said, feel like we were in a good spot, and you know, situations created us getting wrecked and then having to come back through it. And so anyway, very thankful to get what we got, and great to see Garrett win and teammate up there Daniel get third, and worked out well.
Worked
Or
out
get
well.
second, excuse me.
I was about to say worked out well, and I mean when you look at it too, I mean you had to absolutely put the rubber and the boots down onto this Daytona International Speedway. I mean how critical was it to make it for that final run there to get in this top three for you?
Well, I mean, I pitted for fuel, so I was good on the green, white, checkered. So, which hurts me a little bit because I was too heavy on the restarts. But once I got the momentum going, and then everything unfolds in the last lap. Unless you're on the front row, you're at the mercy of everybody around you, and so therefore I was fortunate enough to get to Daniel's bumper and have Garrett pushing. I mean, Daniel pushing Garrett, and we were content. So we play as a team, and that's how we do it.
You certainly did indeed. Well, nevertheless, Maines, anybody else you want to thank her for this third place today?
And I got to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Everything I do is for Him. That is why we're here. Thank Daniel and Dylan and Garrett right there. Great racing up there, and it was fun racing with Hill there. Real clean. He's been doing a lot better job. And thank Ryko, Lennox Industries, and Bradley Mechanical. And thank you guys for putting it on. Jeff for putting the race on.
For sure, Jason. Thanks so much for tuning on in, and congratulations for bringing this one home for a podium today, sir.
Thank you, boss. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Jason Maines, ladies and gentlemen, on the line there. Your second place finisher today going to be Daniel Eberhardt here. As Daniel, once more, you make a hard charge and make a hard book. You certainly put up the fight and put on a great little ride out there. How much was that really to take this control here?
It was very difficult. The old Ryko Ford F-150 was rolling, though. I had Garrett in front of me and Jason behind me, so there's really no move I could make there to even try to win. So I just stuck right there just to get some of the money. I've been wrecked out of these things a lot lately, so it feels good to finally put this thing in the podium spot in second place. And thank you for putting this broadcast on. Thank you for Jeff doing all this, man. It was a crazy race, a lot of tempers overflowing, but hey, that's part of money racing. It's part of real racing. It's part of iRacing. So just a great race all around. It was fun.
Great race all around indeed. Daniel, I guess I'll ask one last question here then before we sign you out with that. You go 16 spots up. You had to start in the 18th spot. You said you had a lot of trouble just trying to get some decent positions in these money races. I mean, being in the back of the pack, I mean, isn't that kind of a bit nerve-wracking knowing that situation's still in the back of your head?
Most definitely. I think me making the call to come down pit road was the best call to take fuel, but it's just they're crapshoots at the end. I say it takes a lot of skill. You see Malik and Donnie and all them guys in other races, and Garrett always be at the front, and I would kind of include myself in that. But it takes a lot of luck at the end because there's a lot of hungry hounds coming to the feed, and luckily we were on the front of them tonight, and we did really good. Just thank you for putting this thing on. Thank you to my hot wife. She's in bed asleep right now for letting me do this on a Friday. Thank you to the good Lord above, and most of all, just thank you to all my teammates, Ryko Performance, and the team.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is your second place finisher here tonight, Daniel Eberhardt. Daniel, thank you so much for your time down there here. Daniel Eberhardt, ladies and gentlemen, going to go second today here, but the winner of it all will be Garrett Maines here. Garrett going to bring it to a victory lane, and Garrett, congratulations. Not only taking home the prize and taking home the cash, but a huge win on this famed track here in Daytona, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, the race was kind of an up and down battle for us, but we started, I think, we started at the front? Yeah, I think two of us, my dad and I, started at the front, and we were able to hold on up there. They had that big wreck that didn't bring out a yellow, and we were kind of checking out, but unfortunately, we were in a very odd situation. We were going to either get caught by the pack or we needed to go around them, and unfortunately we got caught up in an incident trying to go around the guys there. But we battled back from the back there, got lucky with the cautions there that the guys on the bottom ran out of gas, and we were just lined up there at the end. And phenomenal pushing by Daniel, my dad, and Dylan there to get us back to the front. Like, that made all the difference in the world.
Made all the difference in the world indeed. And I know with the way teamwork is needed and the way these drivers are really needing to put up to the pressure and put up to the line, for you and this team to be able to put all that together, I mean, how incredibly important and how prestigious was that for you, really just to know in the back of your head?
Well, there was a lot of money on the line, and there are a lot of really good drivers in this race, so it was cool to be able to pull it off. And You know, I did want it to be a battle there at the end between. I mean, Malik's actually my Coke teammate, and then we had Donnie in there as well as a good friend of mine. I wanted it to be a battle between us at the end. I just didn't really want it to go down the way it did. They kind of got screwed by that caution not coming out, and then I felt like they kind of screwed us in the meantime because I let them in front of us. Um, you know, because I knew they were going to want to fight for it anyway. I'm like, you guys are good. Get out there. Let's make some pace. And then they didn't make pace. And so we went to go around them. And that's, that was the main incident of the race that kind of set us back again. But I ended up going all the way to the back because my mouse battery died when I got out of the car and I couldn't get back in it. So I had to get a battery. But overall, I mean, to be able to rebound like that and work together to get back to the front, I mean, that worked out so well at the end. So props to everybody that helped make it happen.
For sure there. Well, Garrett, anybody else want to thank you for this one to call this night out, bud, sir?
Yeah, absolutely. Got to give a huge shout out to MCU Body, Linux, Bucked Up, Cover Seal, FGR Excel, and the guys at Ryko for all of their support this season. And hopefully we can get one done next Tuesday at Richmond. Following Tuesday, my bad.
Certainly the case indeed. Well, we wish you the best luck to both you all and the Coke drivers as well here. Been an awesome time to have you guys on the show. Congratulations winning this one out here, Garrett.
Thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, your race winner today is Mr. Garrett Maines. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that will about wrap it up here for your call today. Here, thank you so much to everyone tuning in. Also, big shout out as well and Malik Ray. I've said it wrong the entire time. I apologize in advance. Garrett Maines, congratulations on your win. Donovan Strauss, thanks so much for tuning in as well. And all the drivers and fans out there for tuning into these races, man, it's honestly an honor and pleasure to be able to have this and cover it for you guys. So thanks all for tuning in. Thank you again to FEG PC. Visit them up at www.fegcustompc.com to get yourself a hot, fast, and brilliantly awesome designed up custom-made computer your way, your style, your position. We can't thank you guys enough. We'll see you next time when the Great Flag Flies.